Hello, hello, hello. Let me pull this a little closer. It's been a little while since I've done a live, and I had a little time after a client session, and I wanted to come on today and talk to you guys about something that I'm pretty passionate about because, as I've been saying, recently, one of the biggest issues that holds, I would say, a lot of society back, but as female entrepreneurs especially, this is like probably one of the biggest, right? And it's stuff around money and income, and not very many of us are honestly making the amount of money that we truly desire, and not like even, there's not a lot of, multiple 6 to 7 figure to 8 figure entrepreneurs out there. And there should be more. There really should be more. And for Sherry and I, this is like one of our biggest, passions is to shift this energy. So I want to talk today about something that happens to a lot of us. And it's happened to me too, so don't feel like, it's only you. But is we get stuck at certain income levels in our life and our business because of certain reasons. And I've really, after working with hundreds and hundreds of people over those last, several years, I've started to really see patterns and identify, what the actual most common reasons truly are. So one of the biggest reasons, so say like this can be, I'm just going to kind of tell you what this will look like, because for some people you might be really stuck at 50K months. Like that's the place a lot of people get stuck, right? Not that many people get there, but many people. Or it might be 30K months. It might be 10K months. Or you might be stuck at Go, or 3K months, or 2K months, or 5K months. But what happens is a lot of times you get stuck at several different places and kind of get into like this plateau. And whenever you're in a plateau and you're wanting to break through the next level, this is when, the inner work, the money mindset, the real nitty-gritty belief identification work needs to happen. So you really want to go into, like, feeling into it. So, like, I'm just going to make up an example. So say you are stuck at 15K months and you really, really want out of that. Like, you've identified, like, all the things you want in your life. That's something I always recommend doing, too, as well. This is a hard one for those of you who are used to, like, not having much or not spending a lot of money, or have, like, blocks around, like, really having, like, or around wealthy people, or being too much or wanting too much. It's really hard exercise for you. For those of you who tend to overspend, it's not really as hard an exercise for you, but it also isn't as effective. So it's really, really great for those who are kind of stuck in it, because a lot of times why you may not get to the next level is you just don't feel like you need it, right? Like you don't feel like there's that much you're working toward. So I always say, look at all of the things, put it all down on paper of everything you truly want to create in your life. That includes, like, if you want a foundation for, starving children in Africa, find out how much you really feel like that would cost a month. If you want to have, for myself, like when I first did this, at that time, so I'm just going to share with you guys, like years ago, I used to ride horses when I was younger, and then I had to give that up because I did not have the money to be able to afford it. And I thought I would never be able to afford a horse again, not one. And now, like, I've actually, hey, Jess, but, hey, Tina, but, now, like, I have my 3 horses, and I have, like, a lot of, like, these things that I thought were impossible in my life. Like, there was no way I could afford that. We have a full-time housekeeper. I didn't even have a house, so it's like, but I also, for a long time, was like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. But when I truly allowed myself to write down everything I wanted and to really, truly, like, desire that and to set an intention and commit to the fact. So here's the big thing. So want is actually a bad word, like, in a way. So it's not, you don't want to want something, but you want, desire is more powerful, and that you commit to having it happen. So once you truly commit, and by commitment, it means, like, no matter what, it's going to happen, that's when you can actually create it. Oh, thank you. You guys are so nice. She said I look pretty. But, so, basically once you make a true commitment, and it's, like, down on paper, a lot of people do these vision boards, they write these things down, but they aren't serious about it, right? It's like, I wish I had this, or wishing and wanting are not what it takes. It is going to take you to really, really commit that I want, like, I don't know another word for want, but I'm going to get this thing, and I am going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So that's when, that's like the start, a commitment of that level, when you truly commit at, like, a cellular level, like, and then your actions have to follow, which, let me tell you, the actions that you're going to have to take to get to, like, a much, greater space is going to be different than the ones you're taking now. So, of course, it's not going to be comfortable, right? Hey, Angela. Hey, Tracy. So, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. That's just, when you want to have a big, big income leap, it's just, it doesn't really happen doing the very same, thing that, okay, I don't know why it's telling me I'm having some kind of weird my thing. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, hopefully you guys can still hear me. So go ahead and put comments out there. If I don't know, I have a weird screen. I don't there, cool. Oh, it's like having people talking. This is really strange. I don't know. I'm having some kind of weird thing. All right. So anyway, where was I at? We were talking about, so when you make that big commitment, so say, you have it down, you're like, I want a new house. The house is going to be 5,000 a month with a mortgage. And, right now you're making, 5,000. You realize you need to make 15K or 20K or 30K a month or whatever it is. So you really have to commit to, I'm getting that thing. And then your whole actions and everything, like who you embody has to shift too. So you have to start embodying someone. If you're someone who makes 10K a month or 5K a month or 3K a month and you want 50K a month, you've got to start embodying the person who does that. You have to really figure out, because those who are very, very, very wealthy and very successful think differently, act differently, and are different than those who are not. It just is. There are certain, otherwise everybody would be rich and successful. So they have different beliefs, which leads them to take different actions. It leads them to make different decisions. All of those things are extremely important when you're really looking to make that jump in your income. So it's kind of like a lot of people are trying to just do it, but they're, flying blind. Yes, you want to change some of the strategies, but I would say strategy in general, because I'm going to tell you something that when my mindset wasn't right, some of the strategies I still do that really work well now didn't even work for me then. Like, it was not the strategy, it's the energy, it's the actual belief system, it's the commitment, it's the energy behind stuff. So there is a piece of it that 10% of, your success in your business, maybe 15 could be your strategies. The rest is actually like who you are, how you're showing up, what you're doing, what you're committed to. So there's not that many people who commit at that high level to really having the maximum level of impact and income that they could ever have. So if you're one of those people who is in the 1% of, society, or 0.5% or whatever it is, or you want to be in that space, it is time for you to actually really take a look at what you're doing now and be willing to say, hey, this is what got me this far, and you can say, be grateful for whatever it has done for you. But if you want that next big quantum leap, whether it's 30K months, 50K months, 100K months, $1 million dollar months, so that you can do something, it is going to take a different set of beliefs, a different vibration energetically, and a lot of different actions than you're doing now. So, if you guys want to go deeper in this is actually what Sherry and I are going to be covering in our 6-week program that we're offering right now. We're creating this because this is probably the biggest issue that almost all of you guys who are not where you want to be are experiencing. And the program is 6 weeks long. It is only right now till the end of the month, $999. We're going to go really deep and teach you guys, you're going to be able to identify what your major beliefs and blocks are so you can clear them yourself. You're going to learn how to shift that so that you can create an entirely different set of beliefs, actions, a vibration that's supportive of what you really do want. And you're going to have both of our support for the entire time. So it's going to be an amazing program. If you guys are interested in that, any of you, just comment in the comments. There's actually a post out about it. I can tag you in that, but just let me know. And I still have some extra time, so I can take any questions you guys have about the topic. Yeah, so Angela says you have to embody the aspect of you, exactly what you need to learn to channel your higher self. Yeah, it's the same thing as, like, she's right. So, whatever you need to do to channel your highest version of yourself, I mean, you're unlimited. The highest version of you actually has no blocks to money, has no blocks to receiving anything, has no blocks to creating anything, has no blocks to giving anything. But we obviously come in this world and we have an ego, and we have, things that happen, and we have, past life stuff. And we have a lot of things we carry with us. That's part of our journey, is to evolve, right? So part of evolution, a lot of spiritual people don't really get this. In fact, like 90% or more of spiritual people stay pretty broke because they don't understand that when you have like an unlimited access to wealth and abundance, you can do amazing things in the world. You can you could change the entire planet. Like, if some of you really conscious spiritual people had, multiple billions of dollars, what could you not do with that? I mean, Mother Teresa had more money passed through her hands than almost anyone else. So it's, any of you still have any tiny little piece of it's not that spiritual to have large amounts of money, that's something I myself have worked through a lot. Obviously, I'm comfortable with large amounts of money, and I'd love to give to charities I believe in. And some of you guys would probably like do a lot even more for society if the money was in your hands. So I don't know if that was like a top, somehow Angela triggered that on me, but went off my tangent. Anyone else have any questions about money, blocks, the program that Sherry and I are doing?
Nobody? Going once, going twice. So anyone who is watching the replay, go ahead and feel free to put any questions you have, comments, anything, go ahead and put anything in the comments later after you watch the replay, and I will get back to it. Just tag me, just tag my names to make sure I can, I still see it. But I love answering questions. They actually make me happy. And I love you guys. And we're going to bring more of this. We're really going to bring, more of this wealth consciousness, because I really have been given the download that this is the #1 block that keeps so many of you guys not where you want to be and not living to your highest potential. All right. So talk to you later. Bye.